Video. Today we're going to take a look at a brand new video. We're going to talk about the Democrats and the Republicans in the 2022 governor races. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. By the way, help me hit 80 subscribers by the end of this year. Starting from the safe Democratic states, there aren't actually a lot of them. California, Hawaii, the state of Maryland, and there aren't really much races. And the state of New York. Those are the states I consider safe for the Democrats. By the way, let's just get out of the way the state of Virginia and the state of New Jersey. Those states have been decided in the 2021 governor elections. If we go to safe Republican states, there are quite a few of them. Idaho, Wyoming, South Dakota, surprisingly competitive last election, not going to be competitive this time around. Nebraska, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Tennessee, Alabama, and I think that's basically it. Oh, I forgot the state of Vermont. This is Vermont. Safe for the Republicans, Massachusetts, and the state of New Hampshire, because of Krista New's declaration that he will not run in the Senate races. However, Massachusetts, it really just depends on who wins the primary. If it's a Trump Republican, safe Democrat. If it's Larry Hogan, safe for the Republicans. I assume that he's going to win the primary and safe for the Republicans. Now going to likely Democratic states. There aren't really much of them again. Oregon, Colorado, Illinois, Rhode Island, and I don't think there's much more, honestly. I think those are the only states that I believe Democrats are going to win by likely margins. I don't think any of them are too surprising. If we look at the governor elections here, Rhode Island I expect to be more competitive overall. The state of Illinois, J.B. Pritzker likely going to face a more strong challenge against whoever the Republican is. I think that in the state of Colorado, Jared Polis is still going to have a relatively solid race considering that he's a strong incumbent. Oregon, I think Brown will win by about 7 points, just like last time around. However, in the state of New Mexico, this is actually one of the races that are going to be more competitive than people expect, and that will be covered later on. Going to likely Republican races, and that's how the Republicans basically take control of the National Governors Association. Based on this, I have you need to add 7 Republicans and 5 Democrats, meaning 19 Republicans and 14 Democrats. In the states that Republicans are going to win by likely margins, those include Kansas, Texas, South Carolina, Iowa, Ohio, and Alaska. I think those states will be considered likely. Florida, I think arguably likely, actually likely, for the sake of this argument, likely for the Republicans. This gives the Republicans control over the National Governors Association with 26 seats, and the Democrats at just a meager 14. So, again, I don't think any of these races are too surprising. These races considered safe and likely for both parties. Now going to the leading Democratic races, I believe that in the state of Minnesota, I think that race will be considered lean for the Democrats. Again, my margins are in the description down below. New Mexico, lean for the Democrats. Again, margins in the description down below. I think both of those races, Democrats are going to win, but the margins are just going to shrink significantly. Connecticut as well. All 3 of these incumbents won re-election, but by much different margins. Lujan Grisham won by 15 points. And Lamont in the state of Connecticut only won by 3 points. And in the middle is Tim Walz winning by 10 points. I believe that all of these incumbents will win by between 2 and 5 percentage points. The most solid race is probably the race in the state of New Mexico with Grisham. Although the scandals will hurt her definitely, I think New Mexico is still New Mexico. Going to the state of Connecticut. That state I give as a lean towards the Democrats, about 4 points for Democrats. I think a slightly uptick of margins because Ed Lamont is more popular than he was 3 years ago. But Minnesota, I think that race is going to be more competitive. But I still think the Democrats are going to hold on that race. Now going to the Republican states, I think the state of Wisconsin, probably Tony Evers, I don't think he's going to hold on. Nor do I think Georgia Democrats are going to flip this state. As well as that is state of Arizona. There's that candidate thing that a lot of Democrats may be heated up for, but in the end, though, probably leans towards the Republicans slightly. All three of these races I expect to go to the Republicans, Arizona and Georgia. Blue trending states, but really not going to be that blue. Ducey, although can't run for re-election, his influence will still stay there and give the Republicans a better chance of winning. Kemp, meanwhile, in the state of Georgia, probably, I won't say he's going to, if he gets primary out, or if he doesn't get primary out, it doesn't matter. Republicans are going to hold that race by about the same margin. But for the Republican sake, I think they want Kemp to be primaried out. Now let's go to the lean Democratic states, tilt Democratic states, and I'll start with the tilt Republican states. Actually, I'll start with the tilt Democratic states. I think the most confident projection, Maine is probably going to still go blue because, well, it's Maine. Many people expect this race to be competitive. I also expect it to be competitive. Mills only won by 7 points last time around, and it's going to be even less of a margin for her in the 2022 governor elections. What I think will be tilt for the Democrats as well, the state of Pennsylvania. Tom Wolf still leaves on a good note as of right now, so that's still going to go to Democrats. However, in contrast, the state of Michigan probably goes to Republicans. Richard Murr's lockdown policy is just not very popular, and James Craig is a good Republican nominee. In Nevada, though, I still see that going to Democrats very nearly, because I think the Democrats still have a relatively good nominee. So, 30 Republicans, 20 Democrats. This is my projection here for this race here. Again, the Republicans, there's 7 current Republican seats and 5 current Democratic seats. Anyways, thanks for watching today's video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment down. As well as that, share this video with a friend. Make sure that they subscribe as well. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.